We are now in Palia this time, but as you can see, I show you my inventory for skill preps. I have made a decent amount of skills, but in Palia you must be having a lot of skills. I'm total level 49. And if you make a lot of fishing, you can make a lot of money, but hunting, as you can see, I'm now level 5. As according to our research in Palia, you can make tons of money by hunting, but that depends on the total amount of hunting level. But if you are 20 or 10, that's decent, but it doesn't matter. In the valley, this is Kalima Valley, if you go here from White Tree Banks to Fisherman Logan, to Remembrance Beach, to Reflection Fields, to Leafhopper Hills, to the Mirror Fields, and so a circle around. What I can show you is very simple. In about maybe a half hour or an hour, you make tons of hunting experience, but also you make also a lot of height. Now, I have now a decent amount gathered before the video of wood. You need that to kill those guys. And if you kill those guys, that is decent. But then you need to be ready making preparations. That takes 5 to 10 minutes, but you need to gather wood. You need to gather firestone. That is blue stones that you gather from the rocks. So I can show you what it is meaning to get. Now, I got in 5 or 2 minutes, I got lots of wood. Because my foraging is already a bit more level than I used to be. It is about 2 weeks I play. 2 weeks I play this game. And there are other guys that are even better than me, and that is meaning that they play a lot. For my decent style, I play maybe 8 to 10 hours a day, and then that is really it. But you must see it so, with the hunting, is it very grateful that if you have makeshift, that's fine, but you need nothing more in the hunting grounds from Kalima Valley. If you go to Bahari Bay shall be making standard of fine arrows, but the enemies are there a bit harder. So, without further ado, the firestone we need is this. You hurt the stone a little bit, and then you get flint. That is called in the Netherlands a firestone. Now, if you get an amount of these flints, you can choose to get standard arrows. With one shot you can kill them, but it is no need. But if you kill those animals with one shot, then it costs you a bit more copper bars to create. Now it costs another 10 to 5 to 7 minutes. Between that, between the 7 and 15 minutes, you are busy to get copper. So, for example, if I make copper, I can also show you a bit about the copper cell. So I can farm now in a half hour. Have I wood? I got copper. Plus, I got the flint and stone. But the flint you need for the makeshift, and the copper you need for the proper standard arrow. So I can show you the difference between the copper bars making. One moment, guys. And it is matter that this guy here has make your arrows. As if you have the arrows, so for example, it costs you 200 gold for a standard bow. You need a standard bow at least. And then the fine arrows cost 1,000. Now that is no need for, well that is for a proper level. But if you go for the slow down arrow and for the standard arrow, that's nothing. That's 50 gold. So 50 gold is nothing. So those two you need. But if you have a fine one, that's also fine. You need about therefore level 6. But look at it. You need 5 iron bars, 10 hardwood planks, and 1 standard arrow, which is this one. You upgrade to this one. Plus, you can make flares later on, but it doesn't matter. Either way, you need to make lots of arrows. If you want to play in half hour, like an hour, then you play a lot of other things. So keep in mind, you need to think wise that what is more efficient. My way of thinking is maybe different to yours. So if you want to make tons of money, which is tons of gold coins, you want to make sure you do it efficient. So once you created your makeshift, which is mine, I got already completed. I got the wood, but I can also a bit copper for you, so I can show you what it takes, how you can make efficiency arrows. So again, for those guys, you don't need standard arrows. That is why you need a lot of makeshift arrows. Want the more makeshift arrows you have, the best is. But keep in mind that the purple bar left of your screen is the better way. It doesn't matter if it's full or not. Want since it is in beta, you can think, oh, my focus bar is empty. But you can keep hunting. There is no problem. Only the efficiency for your focus depends on how much focus you have. So if you got those things, the flow tree, which means you need 2 persons at least, but not for the small ones. If you have an exquisite axe like me, then you don't need 2 persons. But a small flow tree, you can cut it yourself. Even if you are level 6, fine axe, it shall be fine. At least an axe like that shall cut a tree down. That is at least a small tree. But for the better way of thinking it, keep looting those flints. And once you got those flints, well, I have now at least the best tool in the game. That's exquisite. And exquisite, it is now at least the best tool. At least you need to have before level 9 to get exquisite tools. Well, I'm talking through this video, and while I'm talking through you to this video, I can show you a bit about the map where you can take those guys out. What you see, they run very fast away. So, in the meantime, I got some flint and copper. That there it is for to show you, but I cannot make copper bars, but that's not the efficient way. So we got now enough for 1 or 2 bars. I can just show you what it means, how to gain access to your standard arrows. Standard arrows you don't need for at least Kalima. What Kalima is the basic map. So if you want to make sure you have a lot of arrows, make makeshift. But this is my efficient way to make arrows. So for example, you want to make this time amount. So I got the latest bar. This is the bar smelter. This is this heavy smelter. Normally it takes 2 minutes. This every bar is 2 minutes. and then you got 3 bars in about 6 minutes. That is not how you make money. So what I gonna make sure for it, I gonna make a lot of arrows of a makeshift. So with a proper amount of makeshift, which is you're gonna make it not totally full. You don't need to have them all empty. But I can make for 29 times 20 times, is 20 times 29. That's a lot of arrows. So I'm gonna make them. And then I got 580 makeshift arrows. So with this standard bow depends on your inventory also. But I have also an industrial quest here. Yeah, I must keep it in mind that I keep it in. But for hunting, it is just fine to make makeshift arrows. So now I can show you that even you make standard arrows, you must know it yourself. There's only tips and tricks. That even with makeshift arrows, you can make lots of money. So without further ado, I can make a half-hour shift after the break. So I will be staying here in this area. And after I done my things in the house, I can make sure the arrows are delightful. Well, delightful in a way of that even you make a lot of money, that doesn't matter what it is, but if you see what he means. So let's say so. This is the blacksmith. Here you can sell all your things you need, but not furniture. So as according to this place, copper bar holds 20 each. So keep in mind, if you have not the proper level, you can buy them, but that is 120 each. So I'll be right back, and then we get a hunt, and then this hunt is gonna make you sure that this hunting efficient tips and tricks gonna make part of your actions. So everything you gonna make in coin is hunting. Mining is the best thing. Well, if you have a level 10 mining, you can make platinum bars. And platinum bars is 17,000 for 10 pieces. But it is 65 for 1,765 for one platinum bar. Dus if you have a platinum bar, that's 1765. That means 17,655 for 10 platinum bars for 1 hour. Dus 1 hour. Keep in mind, if you make platinum bars, make loads of them. But then you make tons of money. This is a basic thing. But I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. Let's hunt. So, as you may can see, we have now arrows, as I built them. Now we're gonna make part of the circle. So we start in this area, and then we're gonna around the circle. So I start my area around the clock, and so we go with the clock in and out. So we go from the right to the left, from the right to the left. And every time you do that, the hunting ground will be bigger. So at least for the couple of hours you make, depends on your arrow shifts, your speed and acceleration, and of course your triggers. So from this point, we're gonna hunt. We are now at the center of the place, and we're gonna make sure here to here to this whole area, then this whole area, then to here, and we end again here. So let's see how much money we can make in a couple of 2.30. It's like a 2.40 kill rate. Yeah, not one kill. As you can see, it is may right the shift, but we got one Smurlock and we need at least 100. There's another kill. That one's gone. As I said, this is in beta. Another kill. Two kills. And it doesn't matter if you hit it once, another one kills it. That is no matter. Want if you hit it once and the other one kills it, the player, there's another player in my server. Oh, another thing, depends on your keep in findings. Even your inventory is full, as you can see, it was full and now set free up backspace. That doesn't matter. You can keep going. Why you can keep going, you think? Now, the thing is, if you are full of your inventory, then you may consider I must go back to the place. Now, that doesn't matter. Want it goes directly to your storage. Depending on what storage you have. You can have a maximum of 8 storage chests at the same place. It's your plot. So, even you are full, you can make tons of money when this is sending the inventory full. And you think, now I don't need, now this is what I need, but we can proper delete it and you can make this sure. Then you can loot this once, but still it sets free up backspace. So, if the things in your inventory, this is if it is the same amount of space you have, doesn't matter how much space you have, even your whole inventory is upgraded and all, even if that is full, then once you pick the items up you have already in your inventory, you can keep going, but it depends on your inventory self. So there will be a difference between full and overfull, but there will be no overfull, because even your inventory is full, then your inventory sets again full, because there is another item. So the stone we don't need, then we set again free up backspace. So it keeps saying that. But once more, the items in your back pocket keep filling. But again, he said there comes at least a message for you. A message then that says your float over your backpack. It will be sent to the storage. So it will take a couple of minutes, but once your inventory has been full made, it's like your inventory is completely full, but it doesn't matter. Again, that goes right in the middle of my screen directly after I got lots of height. It says it will be overthrown to my storage. I have seen it a couple of times and it's fine. But either way, even your focus is empty, you can keep hunting, there is no problem. Only the efficiency of your everlasting bonus will not gain. But you can keep hunting, there is no problem. So, whenever a YouTuber says you must fill your focus, that doesn't matter. You must not believe what they said. But I played this game in 2 weeks and I figured already out if I have my focus empty, I can keep going. Because it's in beta. There's no way you have to fill your focus. Immediately if they changed it, okay. But they didn't change it yet. So, if a YouTuber says, any of those YouTubers that are streaming, you must fill your focus, that's bullshit. At least be formal. It is not what it's meant to be. You don't have to fill your focus. It is an optional thing. Focus is the main game resource. So every time you pick something up, it costs your focus. But let's say it's so, you don't need to have focus. There's no need. See? Even with makeshift arrows, you get one shot. But another YouTuber will say, you must make standard arrows. Of course you must make standard arrows, but then you make more money. Of course not. It is. It was only more time. You make more time in the game, and then you spend more time. That's an obvious one, okay. But even with that, you can make with makeshift arrows one shot. There's no chance on hitting him. This depends on the hitting. See? Now I'm making 2 shots. But what I just did was hitting on his neck. I try always to hit at his neck. But in real life, if you kill a deer, you must hit it on its knees, on his neck. See? And now we are in about 10 minutes. We are level 6. Now we can make another fine bow. Which means it costs also money. And also keep in mind that those deers that has armor have no reason to hit it, but it is no matter. But those deers with the thick hides, those have thicker armor. Therefore, there you need for better arrows. Neither an efficient way is there not. There is no way you don't need standard arrows. But as you can see, that one was already a bit hit. But I can show you this. I even make a halfway of 75% of his health gone away. With only makeshift arrows. Don't do that in Bavari Bay, but there is another enemy. Those mains are harder. Therefore you need fine to exquisite. So, exquisite arrows. And as you can see, now we turn around the clock. We are now back at the main stage. We turn around and we go again. So again, we have the whole park in 10 minutes filled with arrows and of course height. So what do we have made for efficiency? As you can see, this is from a mushroom, so you don't need that to see. We need 19 in 20 minutes. So what a YouTuber says on the video is bullshit a half hour. Again, he's not properly informed you. You can never make in a half hour 50 of those. But he made maybe an hour of 3 to work. So if a YouTuber says, I made in a half hour so much coins, that is not possible. You made already in 20 minutes 10 to 19 to 20 of those heights. So it is not proper informing. So if he tells you that he makes a proper amount of heights in half hour, that is not proper informed. You can never make so much hide in a half hour. That's not possible. But like I said, they misguide you in the way of. They said in a half hour I can make 150 hide. That's not possible. It cannot. You cannot make in a half hour 120 hide. The intent of making the hide, it is possible for an hour, but a half hour is not possible. Or you must have make a lot of deer here in the area, but not possible to make sure you have those hides. Like you make only one hide per kill. So there is no possibility you can make 150 hides, or there must be tons of deers in the whole area, but it's not possible. You cannot do that. See? Overflows. And it goes to my storage. So you can keep hunting. See? Overflow item first was sent to the storage. So that's one thing you can do it. So I'm also right after all. You can make tons of money, but it goes to your storage. And he tells you, or they tell you, that even your inventory is full, depending on your inventory, you can make not another bag full. No, that is not properly informed. So, now it is full, but this is emerald grass. Yeah, emerald grass. Whatever. It doesn't matter, we go for hunting. It is also a material you need for your benches or bed. To make logging cabin beds. That's for a standard use. Even that is properly informed, you cannot make sure in a half hour you can never make 150 of those things. It's not possible. Now you can see also what they tell you also, that even you walk around there are some deers. Now that's also not properly informed. Well, it takes 5 minutes later. Yeah, 5 minutes. 5 minutes later to make sure the deer's coming back. If you see a video that they are skipping the time, so you can never make sure that time essence, the time essence you make, it is not possible. You cannot make again 150 hides in a half hour. Want they skip time, and when they skip time, they already have those deers. So it's not possible. So what they tell you on the video is that they every 5 minutes one moment. Every 5 minutes on the video they tell you that you must make space, you must have that, you must have so, or you must do that. It is not the way of your finger. So this deer has armor. So this deer has armor, eh? So like if you shoot it properly, not like I do. The way of this animal has been a bit diluted, which means you will shoot it faster the way off. That is why you need slow down arrows. Eventually you get them, but again, this is proper making an arrow doll. And as you can see, it's downgraded. But it doesn't even matter. Oh, therefore you must go to your camp again to make sure if you have a lot of money, you can make also alright things. But if we got them, we got the armored stack back. And then we got Elder Circle of Antlers. This is a lot of money. A lot. A bit more money than you think of. Now, as you can see, it is downgraded. That happens if you keep going. But also, that doesn't matter. You can make every time you bow, whenever you have the materials. So, what they do on a video is they skip, they vanquish through the camps, they skip again, and then you see a video full that are full of misformed guides. So whenever they make a proper video, is that they skip their mistakes, they keep preparing, and eventually they got a video that misguides you through the video itself. So whenever they do, they keep skipping. So they skip the whole shit, like so it says. So I shall tell you what happens if you have a broken bow. Now, that is downgraded. Okay, it is downgraded. Now, to make that new bow, you need copper, and that's what I said. That costs you another few minutes. So even your bow needs repair. Keep in mind you need to have this, the repair station. Then even and if this bow, like I said, is at the point of breaking, let me say so, don't downgrade it. You see this, then you must make one again. So keep in mind that this standard bow costs you 5 copper bars, 20 planks, and 1 makeshift arrow bow. 1 makeshift bow. So according to our status, yeah, I've shown you the way that it's better to be cautious, make the circles, and use makeshift arrows. But it doesn't matter if you have standard bow or it breaks, and eventually use makeshift arrows. More efficient cannot be. Thank you for watching, and I wish you a very nice, flawless day. Alexandrios out.